productive information that hopefully helps your knowledge base and gets you going with Achane. A lot of people are drafting him in that first round, and honestly, I'm fading him. I don't think that he's worth that first round ADP. He had a career high in touches last season, around 280, and I don't think he hits that this season. I think it's more likely to be a 220 to 240 touch projection. Now, why am I saying that? So this dude's 188 pounds. He didn't miss any games last year, but he did suffer 2 injuries. He had a concussion, and he also had a high ankle sprain. Prior to that season, 2023, he missed a lot of time. So then he had a knee sprain, likely an MCL. We've talked about that MCL ligament right there. That's the most commonly injured ligament in the knee, rarely requires surgery. It's got really good blood flow. Outside of that, he ended up missing 4 games initially for that knee sprain, but then he re-aggravated and missed another game 2023. So even though he went without missing a game last season, I'm guessing those 2 soft tissue injuries kind of hindered him a little bit. And then also they started bringing in more of a committee approach. They also drafted Jalen Wright last season, and they expect him to have a more prominent role this season. That running back is a much bigger back, probably going to take, I would anticipate, about 10 to 12 touches a game. So let's talk about touches. Achane actually had less than 14 touches in about 7 games last season. But which games were them? Were they important? Yeah, they were pretty fucking important. So look right there. Week 16, week 14, 11 touches, 13 touches. That's playoffs, dude. You got your supposed top tier running back barely touching the ball. That's not good, and that kind of supports his smaller frame, resulting in less touches later on in the season. Now let's talk about Achane's biomechanical profile. What puts him at risk of a higher injury? So we already talked about his weight. He's 188 pounds, and then he also has a lot of lateral acceleration. Lateral acceleration actually puts a ton of medial stress on the knee joint. You guessed it, it's going to hit that MCL ligament, that ligament that he already injured, and it's just going to build up as the season goes on. So if you're taking Achane in round 1, you're taking him at the top part of his pricing. You're expecting maximum efficiency, him hitting his 280 career high touch like last season, while having the addition and progression of Jalen Wright, along with some other running backs there. You're assuming that he's injury free, like he didn't miss any games last season, and you're assuming that he's going to maintain that blistering efficiency. I think of like 7.8 or 8 yards per touch. So, I mean, he's going to have these boom games, but he's also going to have those bust games that we talked about where he didn't have that many touches at all because Miami's a ton of scheme-based play running. So he's not always going to have a ton of touches. And that's not what I want to take in the middle of the first round, which is where he's going right now, which is why I wouldn't really hit him until the 3rd round, which he's not going to be there. Obviously, people are going to pull him way earlier than that. But that's my fair adjusted value of where I think that he should go.